I mean what I say. Yeah, the clickbait title. Star Trek isn't real. We all know that. It's a TV show. I like to reference the episode in the second Moriarty episode, The Ship in the Bottle. At the very end, Patrick Stewart says, who knows, this could all be an elaborate simulation running in a little device sitting on someone's table. Yeah, it is, because, he's an actor in makeup and wardrobe, and he's on a set, and they're filming it, and it's being projected, into your television, which is a device on your table, and blah, blah, blah. That was an obvious inside joke. But I'm going to take it a step further. I don't think anyone really knows how to watch this show. I see a lot of people discussing the show as if these characters are real people, as if Riker is a guy who really is supposed to exist in the year the show takes place, and he really is the first officer of this ship, and we got Geordi LaForge in engineering, and Miles O'Brien running the transporters, and we got Beverly Crushers, the doctor, and that's like a introductory reading of the show, in my opinion. But you can take it a step further. I want you to kind of join me in this thought experiment. It's the year, I don't know, if TNG takes place 300 years from now, the 2300s, whatever. I don't know the star dates, sorry. If that's when TNG takes place, then let's go 10,000 years into the future from right now, okay? So 10,000 years in the future, which is, to be exact, 9,700 years after TNG. We have a bunch of school kids on a school bus going between galaxies, on a field trip to the Milky Way galaxy, the original galaxy of humankind. And the kids say, oh, can we go to the Alpha Quadrant? Are we going to the Alpha Quadrant? The teacher says, yeah, okay, we'll go to the Alpha Quadrant. So they stop in the Alpha Quadrant. And the teacher knows something the kids don't know. And then all of a sudden, one of the kids recognizes a constellation from Earth's past. And he goes, whoa, where are we? Teacher goes, we're actually right near Earth. They go, what? Earth? That's crazy. Okay, all right, let's go. Let's go, Mr. Whoever. Let's call him Mr. Greenberg. If you know, you know. This is the original solar system. This is the sun. This is where all of humanity came from, is this solar system. And see that little third rock from the sun there? That's Earth. But wait a second, there's a piece of space debris going around Earth. They go in a little bit closer to take a look. And much like the actual ship in the bottle that they found in the episode Booby Trap, it's the Enterprise, the derelict. 10,000 years ago, it was the flagship of the Federation, the Enterprise D. Even Mr. Greenberg's a little shook. Can we go on board? Well, it's dangerous. Well, I mean, we can, blah, 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 10,000 year 10,000 technology fixed for dangerous spacewalks. Oh, sure. Okay, fine. Let's go on board. So they go on board. The kids are beside themselves with excitement. Two of the kids find themselves on the bridge. They go, oh my God, this is insane. This is really crazy. This is what it was. This is where these guys worked. This is where Starfleet was represented to countless civilizations and new species and, parts of this quadrant that were then unknown to the Federation. And we know where we are now 10,000 years later, but we were once here. This is insane. I wonder if the computer still works. Computer. And Miguel Roddenberry's voice clicks into, computer standing by. Oh, wow. Holy crap. So, computer, were there any logs kept of the crew? The crew kept personal logs every day, Oh my God, wow, this is crazy. So, how did they live back then? What was their life like? You have all these logs for every member of the crew, right? Yes. You have personal logs and ship records and visual data to correspond. You got the manifest. Of course, they use the manifest. So we know who these guys look like. Who's this guy, Riker? Commander William T. Riker was the first officer on the Enterprise, serving between blah, 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 stardates, And who was his captain? Captain Jean-Luc Picard. And who was, and they go through the whole. Are you able to take the logs and sort of synthesize a recreation of a day in the life of this ship? Of course we can. Oh, but the holodeck's all the way down there. Computer, can you just synthesize it on the holodeck and like give me like a random adventure and take all the personal logs and all the official crew logs of the Enterprise and sync it with the visual records and synthesize an adventure, something that must have happened to them, something that did happen to them. Use all the resources you have at your disposal. Use the official Starfleet guidelines for, diplomatic missions and put together an approximation of what they were doing on a day-to-day basis. I want to see it, so can you put it on the screen here? Here, this chair looks pretty cool. Let me sit in the captain's chair. All right, computer, start programming, show me what you got. And you hear Patrick Stewart's voice, Stardate, blah, 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 blah. These are the voyages of Starship Enterprise, its continuing mission to explore a strange new world. That's the key to Star Trek. The audience that is watching the show, we're in the year 10,000. The audience is in the future looking at the past, much like Riker used to synthesize like a New Orleans dive bar on the holodeck, or Data would, simulate a nightclub to try his jokes out. It's an approximation. So when, Geordi and O'Brien are in 10 Forward and they're going back and forth about, well, I don't know about this new character, whatever character that's causing problems on the Enterprise that week or whatever. They're talking to each other about, I don't trust this guy, but, I'll be watching my back. All right, now we got to get back to work. It's not meant to show you that there's an actual character named Geordi LaForge who actually said those actual things. Even though that's what we're seeing, that's not real. It's just meant to describe to you the idea that the crew of this ship is talking to each other and they're doubtful, but they're still going to work hard. It's the mindset of the crew when it's Geordi and O'Brien. If it's Riker, it might be a slightly higher up version of that same thing. Like, that's why all these characters make the perfect decision every time. It's because they're perfect characters. They don't have character flaws. And that's kind of the point, is you don't need character flaws when you're interacting with each other to fend off an outside aggressor. You don't have to have personal conflict in this story if it's not about the personal conflict. And that's the thing that I really love about TNG. They all speak with the same voice. They may have individual interests, but if they have like a personality shortcoming, then it is the point of the episode. It is meant to be concluded with a solution. Like Picard starts off I Borg with like, it's not a person, damn it, it's a Borg. Like, he hates the Borg. By the end of it, he's literally just being the kindest to you. What do you want to do? Like giving him a choice, fighting for him, or signing up to fight for him, which is the opposite of how the character started in that episode. Picard is still Picard. He just had to, in the episode with Data's daughter, first he's like, oh, Data can't have a daughter. But then he's like, of course it's his daughter. Because Picard would. He would do those things. He would doubt it at first. And then once it was proven to him that Data was really committed to this, then he would accept it as any good commanding officer should. That is him. Picard is not real. Like, he's just a model Starfleet captain. They don't strictly position anybody on anything unless it has something to do with the story at hand, and unless that is going to get either challenged or resolved in that episode. They don't have personalities. They're stand-ins. But that's what I like about it, is that it's not to criticize it. In fact, it seems almost on purpose. Like, look at the stiff acting. Stiff and precise. It had to be precise. It has to be exactly what it is, because they're showing you a precise side of this particular character. It's a generalized character. Riker just has a hobby. It can be trombone playing. It can be poker. Sure, poker. I guess, the first officer would be good at poker. You have to bluff sometimes when you're the first officer, and that's interesting. That's, usually has something to do with the episode when they bring the poker into it. When Riker has conflict with his father. Okay, so the first officer has what seems to be a reasonable human problem. He has to have some sort of issue, like perfect humans aren't perfect because they're perfect. They're perfect because they're imperfect. Then they learn to adapt to their imperfections. They learn to get over them. That's what Riker does in the episode. These characters are literary devices. They're not really, real. There's one other show that I think shows this in a way that makes sense. It's called The West Wing, which is basically, the same thing as TNG. President and the White House, kind of like the flagship of the country, and they're morally in line with each other. They finish each other's sentences, at least for the first 4 seasons. Because the Orville has, specific characters with conflicts and things like that. They handle it really well, They do a good job of keeping the characters, all focused on the mission. They sort of developed it a step further with the whole, making them actual people. And I like the Orville for that reason, but Next Gen will always have a place in my heart for being as nebulous as it was. It's just a lot of fun to watch. So maybe next time you watch an episode of TNG, just imagine all the characters doing all the things, but slightly differently, And that's the thing about Star Trek, is it's not a show about the future, it's a show about the past, and we're in the future. If you can wrap your head around that. I don't know if this made any sense. I don't know. I just sort of turned the camera on and started ranting. But I hope you enjoyed it. I mean, I might give you guys my top 3 TNG episodes. If you guys would like to hear it, comment below. You guys take care. And live long and prosper.